Oh, I just burned my whole chest with coffee. Yo, what's going on, guys? Yo, what's going on, guys? We're bringing you another video. My God, my tongue is burned. My chest is burned. Oh my God. Happy Easter. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Easter. I'm gonna do not a ton of edits in this video because I spent the entire morning taking a nap and hanging out with family, so I didn't really have a time to edit a bunch today. So for today's video, what we're gonna be doing is essentially, I'm just gonna go over a lot of different leaks that were released, as well as upcoming banners and things that are gonna be possibly coming out in the near future. So guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So guys, by now you guys all know exactly what could possibly be happening on the Japanese version, what some of the units are, and where we could be going forward. And the most likely unit that's going to be dropping on Tuesday, based on the current releases as well as the data mines that we have from the Japanese version, is going to be Demon Meliodas, and this is Red Demon Meliodas. Alright, Red Demon Meliodas, if you didn't know, is a very, very strong unit against Crimson Demon, but really does fall flat with a lot of other content. And the reason he does fall flat in other content is not because of his substats, which are very, very substantially mediocre / good. His really high crit chance, kind of okay critical damage, good pierce rate, really kind of low resistances and crit defense and crit resistance, so not very tanky at all. But his skills are really easy to be cleansed. So we have first ability is going to be Ignite. It's going to be a debuff skill, and the second ability is an attack skill first, and then a debuff skill afterward. So he doesn't really have to worry about go through attack seals, which is really nice. But the reason he doesn't really see a ton of play on the Japanese version, or didn't see a ton of play on the Japanese version on his release, is because he actually didn't have this key rework that's done on his passive. His passive on the Japanese version actually had something where he was not able to bring in an additional 50% critical chance once someone in your team died. So if you were running him as a sub unit, you then brought him into the field, you would not get an additional 50% crit chance whenever an ally died on the front. Now, since it's now fixed, potentially you could see a use of Demon Meliodas in PvP, but Hellbrum is just so much stronger as a red damage unit that it's really unlikely that you would see Demon Meliodas out there. He does have some good cosmetics, and he does kind of fly when you try a bunch of things out, but honestly, I don't really think Demon Meliodas is going to be a big player in PvP, but he could be if really people figure out like different strategies to use with him. Overall, he's a very good PvE unit against Crimson, but that's his real main viability. The other units that could be potentially coming out somewhat soon, and I did see some releases for, were around this time frame. I believe we had a couple other units, but the number one unit that I thought was really interesting that could be coming out, there were two units that had come out that should be out around this time frame in the game. The first is 100 Day Elizabeth, and the 100 Day Elizabeth might actually just come on the 100 Day Elizabeth banner. Honestly, she's one of the worst SSRs in the game, but with the best passive in the freaking world for PvP. And the reason her passive is so good is because if you lose character at level 1 and somebody AoEs your team and she dies, you give your entire team 2 ultimate gauge, full health, and cleanse all debuffs. So if somebody's using an area effect team, you're using ultimate gauge food with Merlin in the backline, you then get 2 ultimates right away on 2 characters if she dies. So that's pretty cool. I mean, there's not a lot of time she's gonna die in this current meta because King Room is a very single target team, and the other team compositions that are out there are very, very single target as well. The only real AoE comps left are CS Spawn and Hauser compositions that you can see in PvP, but you really won't see that too often. If I go to my Blue Lizhawk on the Japanese version, I actually leveled her, I believe, to 60, and she comes with some really fire cosmetics, and that's the thing that really matters, by the way. So if you were looking to get Blue Elizabeth, she does come with this amazing cosmetic that comes on her banner. Oh my God. This cosmetic is the reason to get this Elizabeth, but you don't actually have to get her, you can just get the cosmetic. That cosmetic is really cool. I like that. And then she comes with a little 100-day thing that she gets as well from the banner. So that's pretty cool. But that's really the reason to get that Elizabeth. If you haven't seen her in my tavern, I wake up every morning. Oh, what's up, Elizabeth? How you doing? That's a definite reason to get Elizabeth. Of course, everyone in the grandma is talking about Green Escanor, and he could be coming very soon. Honestly, I don't think this is going to be happening very soon because Escanor is a super, super, super strong unit. And the reason I don't think it's going to be happening so soon is if you compare his substats right now to any of the units on Global as far as like release characters and things like that, he was really strong in comparison. look at this right here. The first thing is an 80% pierce rate. This is the thing that is just should be super scary already. And then he also has 80% critical defense. So he would immediately nullify any kind of crit metas where you were using Death Pierce and try to use massive crit chance abilities on characters. He would nullify a lot of people trying to just go through damage. He would be the only unit we'd ever see in PvP. And Red Helbram would be running, like, the only thing that you can do is run a Red Helbram against him. You could try to run a Red Demon Meliodas against him, but honestly, he eats through Demon Meliodas like butter. I've seen it. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I love it. Overall, I think the Green Escanor is probably one of the best units in the game on launch and on his release. So definitely pick him up if you're looking to. If you're looking for banners that you really need to pull on, though, those are banners of the characters that I think they're going to be coming out sometime in the near future. I don't think Escanor's going to be coming anytime soon, but if he does come out, obviously pull for him and everything. But if you are looking for somebody who is a must-pull unit, the first must-pull unit is going to be, there are two different versions. The first one is going to be Green Lilia. The reason Green Lilia is not a must-pull unit, but is a very interesting unit, and that should be reviving really soon. This should probably be within the next few weeks, actually, based on the game release and content. And Green Lilia is actually one of the best units in the game. We actually, on the Japanese version, every single player that was playing during the Slime collab actually has this unit completely ultimate maxed. We actually got a free copy of this unit, and we get 5 duplicate copies, so everyone actually has a max ultimate for her for free, and she's the first original character to be brought to the game. The Green Lilia is also a substantially stronger unit than a lot of people give her credit for, and the only reason no one uses her right now in the Japanese version is because the blue one is better and also named Lilia. The green one gives 108% attack to one enemy and reduces attack-related stacks by 20%, and her passive ability also reduces attack by 16% in PvP. And yes, this unit does work as a support unit in PvP and can be used in tandem with Green Gale Thunder to just be super toxic against enemies. So yes, it does work. It is also a very good frontline unit too, because her pierce rate is at 50%, so she has amazingly high pierce rate. She also has high resistance rate as well as low regeneration rate, extremely low critical chance, and she has a very good amount of critical defense. So even if you do end up doing a critical strike to this Green Lilia, unless you have over 160% critical damage, you're really not doing a ton of damage in extra to this Lilia. So the way critical damage works is it's kind of like if you had 160% critical damage, and you would then subtract 60% critical defense. So now you're doing 100% normal damage. So it can't go below 100%. I don't think. I think that's like the minimum bar, but it would just do the 100% of whatever the normal damage is. And 100% of normal damage is exactly the same as the original damage. So it's basically multiplying times 1. So that's why Green Escanor, when you crit him, you almost never do any extra damage to him either. So Green Lilia is an exceptionally tanky unit because she has very high resistance and critical defense. Critical resistance is like overrated as well as critical defense is where it's at, by the way, if you're wondering. This one right here, if you're looking at all of Lilia's stats, overall she's exceptionally powerful as far as stats go. She's good as far as her passive, her abilities go, everything's good. Her second ability increases the damage that all enemies take, and you actually just stock this ability up, and when you do want to use it, you can use it at a rank 1, rank 2, or rank 3. If you use it in tandem with her ultimate, which does 525% at maximum, it's basically Hauser's ultimate, but at max ranks it just does tons of damage. You can use these two in tandem and actually just wipe whole enemy teams. So that's the reason she's so powerful, is a frontline unit and backline unit. Getting these two together is exceptionally powerful. So definitely, if you're looking for a unit that does very well in PvP, Green Lilia is a definite pickup unit. Hopefully, we're gonna get her for free, and it'll be the same as on the Japanese version. But it was with the Slime collab, and that was really worked in tandem. This should be coming hopefully soon to the Japanese, the global version of the game, and this should be the first OC. The other Lilia that we have, of course, is the Blue Lilia, and of course, I've talked about her in many other videos, and I've talked about her in general. But essentially, she's the real big MVP to the game, and she is the first character that actually changes the way every character works in the game. Now, Blue Lilia has a ton of different abilities that make her very valuable. First off, her passive increases the pierce rate of all allies by 50% of whatever her pierce rate is. I don't have mine capped out on right now, but it's only at 88%. I haven't tried to like min-max it on this particular gear set. I have a couple gear sets where I have min-maxed it, and it goes over 100%, of course. So you're giving everybody 50+% pierce crit. So that's really, really, really strong in PvP, because if you're using a character like Green Lizhawk or Hauser, getting that extra 50% makes your characters go cut through people like butter. It's actually incredible. In farming, this actually improves your farming teams to always do 3-turn runs on basically green, and you can get a lot of blue runs with this at 3 turns as well because of this. You can't get all of them with Blue Lilia, I think, at 3 turns, but you can get them down pretty far. But she definitely improves farming for every team in the game. Her first ability is going to do 150% attack to all enemies, and then the reason this is so valuable going forward is she's able to roll back ultimates on multiple characters. Now, you can, if you've done PvP lately, you know the Kingburn toxic meta where you're able to completely have your entire team locked out from just a Gothur rush and attack seal, and then you have Gothur's ultimate up on the enemy team. You're like, what do I do? Well, the answer to that character is Lilia. If you were using, say, a Gothur rank up and then use it on Lilia, that would then give you a cleanse, which is really a heal and a cleanse, and then you can actually use an ultimate gauge rollback on your Lilia to roll every enemy's ultimate on the enemy team back by 1, giving you a effective counter to that instant ult rush that happens right now. So she is the effective counter to that, regardless of what her passive is, that it would be useful in every mode of PvP, whether it be geared PvP or gearless PvP. So it's extremely valuable to have that. But overall, Lilia, that's why she is more used than the green Lilia, because the blue Lilia does provide that ultimate gauge rollout. The green Lilia, of course, is an amazing unit, as we saw, but the blue Lilia just is more efficient in PvP right now or on the Japanese version for what she does. And even if you do have a max 6-star green Lilia, you do have some teams that do work with her, but they're just not as effective. Having said that, guys, my name's Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Sorry I didn't do a ton of edits on this video. I just wanted to put out some characters that may be coming in the near future that I really think that you should be saving for versus characters that could potentially be coming. And I know this is kind of like just not a normal video that I kind of put out, and it's kind of a weaker video, but it is Easter and I want to spend some time with my family today. But so again, thank you guys for watching the channel. If we do get to 20,000, I believe by tomorrow, we're at 19,750 or 40, I think, last time I checked. And if we do that, of course, I'll do the tier list tomorrow. But thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.